I'm Amanda McLaren, and this is the Papaya Pod.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Papaya Pod. We are back. We've had a couple of weeks off. We've had a lot going on. Those that have been on the socials would have seen about poor Keith's mum. Shout out to Keith. We love you, mate. You know we're with you. You got the support of the Papaya family behind you. So for that and a few other reasons, we've had a couple of weeks break. It wasn't planned, but it happens. It's life. But we are back, and do not fear because although it's not Keith sat next to me today, Keith is very much still on board and we'll be recording this week with James an IndyCar special as well. So Keith's doing all right, and he'll be back on the mic this week, which I can't wait. Can't wait to see him back in his where he belongs on the microphone.
Most definitely. Not wait.
But yes, I think actually this is the first time I'm with James, by the way, that side. I think this is the first time it's just been me and you, James. We've
It
done a
is. It is indeed the first
We've done a
time.
three. We've done a three. Me, you, and Keith.
Yeah.
Obviously, you and Keith do the Indy,
Yeah.
and then me and Keith do race reviews on the F1. And I think this is the first time it's just us, so no pressure.
The first time since the original interview.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Last year. Wow. God, it seems like so
Yeah.
long ago now. How are we doing, buddy?
No one to complain, Jimmy, but I'm ridiculously hot. Um, that's all I'm going to say on that, really. Ridiculously hot. We'll work with it. I'm not going to spoil it for everyone. We're moaning and griping. Nobody's here for that. Um, I'm a big guy and I'm struggling, Jimmy. I'm not going to lie.
It is rather warm, well into the 30 degrees today, and I think we're all struggling, mate. I'm sat here with a fan going, pointing at me, just trying to not dehydrate. I have got my Lando Monster on the go, as always, which has already got warm, even though I've only just got it out of the
Yeah.
fridge. But yeah, we've got a lot to catch up on. Basically, guys, we just wanted to get together. We haven't done a race review for Monaco or Austria for reasons I mentioned before. There's lots of stuff we want to talk about. Like we said, James and Keith will be doing an Indy episode later in the week. So we're just going to quickly touch on that. And we wanted to talk about endurance racing as well. So we've got quite a lot to talk about, but we're going to start with Formula One because, like I say, we haven't even caught up with Monaco yet. Seems like so long ago now, James.
Yeah, it most definitely did, to be honest. It's I think I already said to you off air. It seemed a lot easier to track things when we was first and second every race. It slips our mind a little bit now, where we got to keep an eye on what's going on. But yeah, won a great result. Could have been worst.
Yeah, it was a tough weekend, wasn't it? They were struggling. McLaren was struggling all weekend in Monaco. It seemed there was issues, gearbox issues, power unit issues, as seems to be too often the case this year. But it is what it is. We're working with a whole new system, so we've said it many of times. There's going to be bumps along the road. We've had an amazing 2 years, and like
Yeah,
we've said, when we're reliable, we're not that far off of it. It's just getting that car reliable.
totally agree. And let's be honest, Jimmy. This is far from the slums of the Honda days.
Mm.
Granted, we are not necessarily challenging for the race win week in, week out, but we are still knocking on the door of that podium. We're not a million miles off. And as you say, a little bit more reliability, performance coming through, and we'll be laughing. We'll be back on top. I got no doubt about it.
Absolutely. We got the drivers, haven't we? Oscar's proved it in his first start of the season. He missed the first two races, and then Lando, Lando's been there or thereabouts as well. But yeah, I mean, Monaco was tough. Obviously, Lando was he didn't finish, and Oscar finished. He finished fifth. He was awarded fourth because of Pierre Gasly's penalty. Pierre Gasly appealed, obviously won his appeal, so Gasly got reinstated to fourth, and Oscar dropped down to fifth, where he actually finished. So
Yeah,
yeah, a bit tough, but like you said, it could have been a lot worse, right? We could have had two DNFs, so got to try and find the positives in these.
exactly, exactly.
It was a typical Monaco Grand Prix. I'm all right with that. I love it. Monaco is historic. I love everything about it. Yes, we wouldn't mind some more overtakes, of course, but it's Monaco. That is what it is. It's been that way for a very, 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 very long time.
Yeah.
But I still love it. I just do. How about you? What?
Yeah, it's the heritage, it's the history, it's, people who don't necessarily follow motorsport will know the Monaco Grand Prix. Um, it's got to be on the calendar. As you say, we know what to expect from it. The only thing I'll sort of add to that is, as someone who follows Formula E as well, I don't understand why a Formula E race can go around there and you can have 50, 60 overtakes in the Monaco Grand Prix. And then the Formula One guys roll out and you're lucky to get a handful. I'm not quite sure what the answer is there. It probably didn't help, but they took all the performance bits away to cut back on the speed. But I think it does need going forward, especially with the direction the FIA seem to be going with trying to appeal to the younger generation, the modern fan then. They need to get more entertainment in these races.
Mm,
And they get, they are, it's no coincidence that it's the modern, it's the newer fan that doesn't necessarily have the history of Monaco behind them, that are the ones that's calling for Monaco to be finished, to be replaced. And part of me guess why they saying that, because, you don't really want to be sat there for 2 hours of your day watching someone start on first, finishing first, and very little happen in between. But for me, it needs to stay. We need to keep it on there. We will find a solution at some point. Um, it's
I,
Monaco.
I get it. I get the issues. Like for me, I don't like Baku. I'm not a fan of the Baku track at all for very similar reasons, right? It's a street circuit with very little overtakes. But like you just said, it's historic. It's Monaco. It's original.
Yeah.
It has to stay, and I think it will. I don't think it's going anywhere ever.
No.
You think if
Didn't
people
they
are
just
even
sign a new
outside of,
contract with it as well?
I believe they have, yeah. I mean, like
Yeah,
you said, people that don't even follow motorsport, you tell them F1, the first track they'll think of is Monaco. Regardless of where they live
100%.
in the world, that's the first track people think of is Monaco. I love it, absolutely love it. I just
Yeah,
wish that we were a bit more competitive to enjoy it a bit more again. But
yeah,
there we go. There we
definitely.
go. Like you said, it could have been a lot worse. Then, of course, we had Barcelona up next, and it was a much better weekend, certainly for Lando.
Yeah, yeah. But most, I think right across the board, it was a better weekend, to be honest. We looked competitive. We was there or thereabouts in practice. All right, granted, practice don't mean a lot, but it was nice just to see the papaya back towards the top, in a competitive session again.
Y-
Um, yeah, it was good to see. It almost feels like those grumblings are kind of getting put behind us, like they might have found the solution. That's what I'm hoping. I'm crossing every bit of me that you can't see on camera right now. Um, Hoping that these grumbles have gone. But yeah, it was good and great to see Lando back on the podium, an all British podium.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first time since 1960 something, I
Yeah.
believe as well, which was awesome. I've got to touch on it. I know this is a McLaren podcast, but obviously, congratulations to Lewis, his first win in red. I've got to say that podium was quite emotional. Watching, I mean, he was watching the Ferrari team singing the Italian national anthem, and he was just
Hmm.
smiling and crying, and it was all the emotions going through him. And I felt it
Yeah.
back at home watching on my sofa. I mean, listen, I would have loved for Lando and Oscar to be 1 and 2 on that podium, absolutely, of course, but it was so awesome to see how much that clearly meant. We're talking about an 8 time, in our opinion, world champion, um, who's done it all. He's been through all the ups, all the highs, all the lows. And
Yeah.
yet he's 40 years of age, standing on a podium, crying with emotion. For me, that is incredible. Someone who's been through it all. Amazing to see. I mean, I did love that. I love that podium, I have to say.
Most definitely. As you know, Jimmy, I'm not the biggest Lewis Hamilton fan in the world. I've always given the guy credit for what he's done. There's not many in this world that's done more than him as far as motorsport's concerned. but it would have been a massive disservice to him and the Formula One if he didn't end up getting a win in red. You couldn't have someone of his caliber, of his stature, go to Ferrari and not end up on that top step.
Yeah.
So it was lovely to see. Hopefully that's the last time we see Lewis or anyone else other than the Papaya on top step this year. But it was nice to see.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can begrudge him that, to be fair. You know, how down he was last year. We've touched on it so many times on this podcast. But yeah, it was awesome to see the person, you know, the real person coming out of him. Brilliant. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we've fallen behind massively. I think we knew going into this that Mercedes were definitely the team to beat, and we thought Ferrari were probably pretty close. Currently sat in third in the Constructors, 49 points behind Ferrari in
9.
second, and 121 behind Mercedes, who, of course, are flying in first.
Yeah.
There's a long way to go. Are we still
There
in
is. However much I would love to say we are, I'd say we need to be focusing on taking that second spot this year and regrouping and coming back stronger next year. I would love to say, I'm as biased as they come, Jimmy, you know this. I would love to say, I predicted before the season that McLaren was going to run away with it. I would love to say that they're going to win it and they're going to come back. It would be even more historic and even more of an unbelievable win than 2 years ago if they was to do it.
it?
That seemed impossible at the time.
Yeah.
If that was impossible, I don't know what you would call this because it's it's not just losing to Mercedes, it's losing to Kimi Antonelli, who is a second year rookie. That car is on another level. And it's not just us, it's anyone associated with Mercedes is struggling really. Williams they've been well off the pace. Alpine have put in some good performances, but they are still well off the pace if the truth be known.
Yeah.
It is only realistically Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, and every other race, Red Bull. So it is legitimately Mercedes to lose, unless something catastrophic happens. I just can't see how we can come back this year.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. I think anyone who is talking with their head would say the same. The only thing I would say is so much can change so quickly in this sport. More so than most sports, I think. And you know, that sort of summer break and the changes that people can, you know, after that, I know they're not allowed to touch a car during summer break, understand all that, but there seems to be quite often a change in the tide after summer break. I mean, look at last year. Oscar had won a
Yeah.
championship going into that. It was nailed on
Mhm.
Oscars, no question
Yeah.
about it. And then all of a sudden, you know, I mean, forget about Lando for a minute. We're talking Max Verstappen comes in
Max
out
was
of
back.
nowhere.
Yeah.
That's my only glimmer of hope that I've got for you, Papaya fans, is it could all change. It's unlikely because Mercedes, just they look almost faultless, to be honest.
I mean, let's be honest, the only sort of hiccups we've seen from them all season has been Russell doesn't like getting whooped by Kimi every week. We all know that, I'm going to say it, Russell likes to moan and whinge more than anyone I've ever seen in my life. And he doesn't like it. He was coming into this season, it was his. Before he even got in the car, he was convinced he had won this championship. And when he realised that Kimi wasn't going to allow that to happen and he wasn't going to roll over and even tickle his belly, you've seen those little niggles, Canada. Well, Monaco. They were scrapping there a little bit. There's
Yeah.
been a good 3, 4 races this year where Kimi has gone, hang on now. This is my championship year. That is probably the only world that I could see McLaren coming back would be like we spoke about last year with McLaren, with Lando and Piastri, um, is if Kimi and Russell start colliding, start taking each other out of the race, and then we capitalise by getting a 1-2. That is going to be the only way,
Yeah,
realistically, I can see it happen. But then
yeah,
how long is Toto Wolff going to allow that in a team battle to go on for if that's happening? He's not going to want to lose that Constructors, is he? So that's the only way I can see it happening. But again, very, very unlikely.
yeah. I think, like you said, I don't think Toto will allow that. I think the first time
No,
that they genuinely crash out, that will be the last. I don't think Toto will let them get anywhere near close enough for it to happen again. Um, I think it is crazy because even after Kimi's first win, I remember them interviewing him and his dad saying, "Oh, are you in the title race?" And they both were like, "No, no, no, absolutely not. We're just going to enjoy the win." Really level-headed. But you better believe he is in the title. I don't think he's even in the race. He has to be the favorite right now. I mean,
it has to be.
he
He's
comes
dominant.
he come to Mercedes a year too early for George Russell because if this had been his rookie year, he would have been making a lot of mistakes like we saw last year.
Yeah.
But he is not making those. It is
No.
unbelievable.
He's as dominant of a driver as we have seen in many a year.
Yeah, absolutely,
Um,
mate.
Incredible, incredible talent. The only shame for me is he's not in Papaya.
I know, right? Yeah, I agree. I agree. Getting back to Papaya, FP1 in Barcelona. We had a driver in Lando's car who you, James, are extremely fond of.
Very much so. You said it. I've been a big follower of this guy for years prior to Formula 3 even. Leonardo Fornaroli, incredible, incredible driver. Cannot speak highly enough about him. I could do an episode just on him, so I'm not going to get too carried away, Jimmy. But for those who might not know, won the Formula 3 championship in his rookie season without winning a race. His consistency was that good that he won without actually physically winning a race that season. Goes into his rookie season in Formula 2, goes and wins the championship. As we already know, there's only a handful of drivers in history that's won the back-to-back, let alone back-to-back in rookie seasons. Obviously, he's currently our reserve driver. Little bit concerned, I'm not going to lie, about some of the rumblings I've heard about Haas giving him test drives. The logical side of me doesn't really see that shaping up. They have their own, to go a little bit away from Papaya, but they have their own future star in Kamara, who is a Ferrari Academy driver. So, I mean, if they're going to go that route, again, another Formula 3 champion, and he's in the competition for this Formula 2. Whether he wins it is another matter, but he's there or thereabouts. So I don't think that would happen. I don't think it would hurt him at all to take the test drive to get more laps, more experience. Um, but we got to see him in Papaya in a couple of years' time. The question for me is, what does he do in between? And it's been rumored, it's been talked about, it's been hinted that he could well go on to take the third Arrow McLaren seat in IndyCar next year. It's all but given that Nolan Segal is going to be out of that seat. And I think it'd be perfect. Absolutely perfect. Get him out there for a season, get him in competitive racing, keep building his confidence up. And then we go into the 2028 season where, if the rumours are true, you could give Max moving. Piastri's been talked about moving.
Of course, it's
And
the
then we got a
first year
race.
that we got GP coming over, isn't it, from Red Bull? So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I would love to think that he will go out and spend a season with Arrow McLaren, a minimum of a season. He's too good just to sit around and test drive cars.
Mm.
You know, he is too good for that. We can't have a talent like him sat in the background doing all the. It's going to be Frederick Vesti all over again with Mercedes. You know, that guy was such a wasted talent. And I'd hate to see that for Leo. He needs a seat. I just hope it's going to be with us.
I, you alerted me to this guy in our group chat. I remember you left a voice note really bigging him up, and I know Keith was well aware of him anyway. I was less aware. As people know, my knowledge, some might argue, I don't have any knowledge of F1, but that's kind of where my thing is. That's my fandom F1, and I keep an eye on other little bits, but nowhere near as much as I would like to. So when James announced on our group chat about Leo Fornaroli, the one thing that absolutely shocked me was what you just touched on then, was when he won the F3 championship without winning a single race. That is insane. I actually Googled
Yeah,
it after you said it because I was like, there's no way he's got that right. You must
yeah.
have got that wrong. And
It's the
not to
sort of
question you,
statistic. Yeah,
I'm the mug because you were absolutely spot on. And I'll
uh,
never
it
question
is
you
that
again.
sort of statistic that sounds made up.
It's unbelievable. Absolutely incredible. And like you say, to then go
Crazy.
straight into F2, win that as well. And listen, he did not disgrace himself in practice. FP1 in Barcelona. I think
No, most definitely not.
he finished fifth right after the session, fifth fastest. That's
Yeah,
incredible. In a
yeah.
car that,
And,
was playing up, let's be honest.
yeah, I've looked back. I can't give you the exact accurate figures right now, but out of the reserve drivers we've had for the past 4 seasons, it is the highest finishing drive that we've had from a reserve driver.
Wow.
We've had Pato Award.
Yeah. I think
He's
he
been in the
finished
car a couple of
seventh, I
times.
think, was his
Seventh, I
best.
think, was the highest. Only once he's been inside the top 10. I think
Yeah.
he's got in the car about 3 or 4 times, if my memory serves me correct.
Yeah.
And he's only had the one top 10. Um, you had I forgot his name now. You had the Japanese fella 2 seasons back. He ended up bouncing around about 3 different teams. He done like a test for about 3 different teams in the same season. I think he done a run for Haas and he did a run for someone else. Um, Rio or Rico or something like that his name was. Again, he didn't have much luck. So Leo coming in and getting a P5, that was that was some serious effort gone in there. That was a serious drive. You know,
This is someone that McLaren can't afford to let go, right? I mean, like you
no.
said, there's been a lot of rumors with Haas and stuff. But they can't just let him go. They can't. Like you said, I know initially before the Haas rumors, there was talks, like you just said, about going to Indy and taking Seagal's seat. That to me makes sense because he's still then in the McLaren setup, like you said.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen in 2028. There could be a lot of change around. Right now, everyone seems to be happy in the McLaren camp. Lando and Oscar, great. Everything's brilliant, lovely. But
Yeah.
18 months time, that could all change. Like you said, GP's coming over here. There's talk about Max going, even walking out of Formula One potentially. We know
Yeah.
how much Red Bull love Oscar, and he would probably still be their number one target, I think, currently, I guess.
Mhm.
That's what
I'd
we're
say so.
that's the feelers we're getting coming out of Red Bull. Um, and if that was to happen, like you said, Leo Fornaroli seems like the absolute perfect guy to step into that seat, doesn't he? Now, I
Yeah,
think.
it's made for him. It's made for him. It's really good to know that if for whatever reason, like we've seen it in the past with Carlos Sainz, where like physical health issues has come up,
Mm,
if anything was to happen to Oscar or Lando that meant they had to miss a race weekend, you can bring someone like Fornaroli in, and you're not really gonna lose out a lot.
no.
You know, yes, he's not going to be quite at that level, but he's not going to give it to service either. You know, he's going to give you a competitive performance. And it's great to know that we've got someone like that coming through. And look, Zach Brown, everyone that's listened to me speak knows I love the guy. I think he's brilliant. What he's done for McLaren, I can't speak highly enough of. He's a businessman first and foremost. He bleeds papaya. He wants to win the Triple Crown again under his name. There is no way in this earth is he going to have gone out, signed Leo Fornaroli, who was a free agent driver, to a McLaren contract, and then leave him go within a year.
No.
I don't see it happening. I was one of the guys that was a little bit disappointed that we allowed Bortoleto to go to stake. Now, obviously, Audi, another Formula 3, Formula 2 back-to-back champion, another incredible talent. Brazilian, he was like the next coming of Senna when he. So I was a little bit disappointed by that. But I think I would be more disappointed if we allowed someone with so much talent as Fornaroli to leave over not being able to give him a competitive drive, especially when we could lose someone like Piastri the season after. That's what I'm worried about. And if we was to, if these silly seasons did go on and Oscar did go over to Red Bull for 2028 and Fornaroli's already gone to Haas or whatever, who are we going to take? Who's out there? That we're not going to be, the Lando's not going to want to have another Oscar situation where we have another number one sort of driver coming in. Who's
Yeah.
out there? Who do we take?
It would seem at this stage, it would seem very foolish to let him walk. And like you said, Zak Brown is not a silly man. I
No.
don't see him going anywhere. I think he'll be, even if they give him a promise, whatever that promise might be. I think
Yeah.
I hope, man, from everything you've said about him, from what I saw in Barcelona, he has to stay in Papaya. Absolutely, he does.
Yeah.
There's no way they can let him go. So yeah, shout out to Leo Fornaroli. Please stay. Please don't let him go, Zach.
He's done.
He could end up in IndyCar. He could end up in IndyCar, of
He
course.
could
That'd be
do.
pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's quickly touch on IndyCar. I know, like I said, you and Keith are going to be doing a Indy special, an Indy episode,
Yeah.
rather this week. So we won't deep dive too much into it, but I know you wanted to touch on it as well because he is your guy.
He is indeed.
Like Leo, he is one of
Yeah.
your guys.
More so, first and foremost, we've had two Arrow McLaren wins in the space of 6 weeks. In that might not sound a lot to some people, because in that period there's been 4 races, definitely 3, maybe 4. But to pick up 2 wins in IndyCar when you got Alex Palou dominating the sport, that's an achievement. That is an achievement. I'll break down the achievement a little bit more now shortly. So Christian Lundgaard is obviously what we're talking about in number 7, Arrow McLaren. The month of May, as me and Keith covered in the episode, a couple of episodes back, it's always a big month for IndyCar. You've normally got about 3 races, which ends the month with the Indy 500. One of the biggest races in motorsport. So prior to the Indy 500, 2 weeks prior, in fact, because the week before is qualifying, you have the Sonzio Grand Prix, which is the Indianapolis Road Circuit. We've spoken about that already, so I'm not going to go massive into it, but Lundgaard had a phenomenal win. His first win in Papaya. He'd only previously had 1 win before that at Rahal Letterman. So he got his first Papaya win. Indy 500 didn't really go the way that any of the Arrow McLaren drivers would have hoped, really.
Almost paid
Yeah,
off.
that is the nature of the beast with Indy 500. It's kind of like the Grand National, You've got your favourites. Doesn't mean to say they're going to win. Sometimes you'll get that 66-1 and we'll get over the line, and that's kind of what we saw with Rosenqvist in that race. But Sunday just gone, we had the latest road course. And I'm just going to give you some statistics a minute. I'm going to have to read it off my phone. So it was the Road America race. Obviously, Lundgaard wins the race. I'll come into how he won it in a little bit of time. So I started nicknaming Christian Lundgaard as Mr. Road Course. And the reason behind that is obviously anyone that follows IndyCar will know you have street circuits, you have ovals, such as the Indy 500, and you have road courses. This season so far, we've had 3 road courses. We had the Barber Motorsport Arena. He came second place. We had Sonzio. He came first place. And we've just had Road America. He's come first place. Out of 3 road circuits, he currently sits on 143 points from those races alone. Nobody is within touching distance of him on a road course. Nobody, even Palou, nowhere near. He's about, I think he's about 40 points clearer than either of his person as far as road courses are concerned. He is absolutely dominating it. Just a shame that the rest of the season isn't road courses. I think we got another 2 to come. Doing a phenomenal job. Currently sits P4 in the championship. Pato's P5. And just to touch on the race slightly, first lap, not even first lap, first corner. Another experienced driver, Scott Dixon, moves under braking. Christian Lundgaard loses his front wing, ends up dragging his car around the whole circuit, goes into the pits, has a nose change, changes tyres, comes back out 100 seconds and almost a lap down to the well, he was a lap down from the leading driver, who at the time was Alex Palou. A couple of full course yellows happen, brought him back into contention. He ends up winning the race from 25th. He was the last man on the track at 100 seconds down, and he won that race. Yes, there was an element of good fortune and luck due to certain things going on in the race. But just to still be in it at that stage is crazy. Just to have the mindset to be able to say, pull yourself up and say, right, come on now, we can still do this. That's incredible. That's another level of mental strength.
I haven't seen the race yet. You told me I have to watch it on Sunday. I haven't got round to watching it. I do plan on watching it. Obviously, I've seen the result, but I do want to watch it because the group chat with you and Keith was going off Sunday night. And
Yeah.
I said to Mrs., I need to watch this as I'm sat there falling asleep in front of the telly because of another hectic weekend. But I am planning on watching it because it sounded like an incredible race.
Yeah,
And
you definitely won't be disappointed.
I watched Indy 500 for the first time this year. And I don't think I've said on here, but my honest review to James and Keith was for the first 80 to 100 laps, I was a little bit like, it's good, but I don't get the hype quite so much as everyone else, perhaps. But I stuck with it, carried on watching, and the second half of that race, I think by like lap 120 out of the 200, I was all in, 100%. I get it. I'd gone from a complete 180 flip basically, and I have to say I loved it. I did. I genuinely did enjoy that. And after seeing how it played out as well, I get the first 100 laps as well. Does that make sense? So next time,
Yeah.
instead of going, I'm just going to watch the second half, I still want to watch it all because it makes more sense to me now. Hope that makes sense, what I'm trying to say. And I do genuinely want to get more into the IndyCar stuff. It's just finding the time at the moment. Genuinely, life is a bit mental. So I do really want to. And like I say, you and Keith on the group chat always talking about it does get me hyped, even though I still know very little about it. Which is why I'm going to ask you this next question. Alex Palou, I even know how dominant he is in this sport. He seems to win every single blooming week, right? Back like the old Max Verstappen days in Formula One. That's how it seems. So anytime he doesn't win, like you said, is a massive achievement for whoever does win, or whoever beats him. He's probably going to win the championship again, right? I don't think there's probably much question. But Lundgaard is in 4th position, and he's only 77 points behind. What are the chances? I mean, I don't know.
Oh, that sounds like a lot. 77 points sounds like a lot.
But it's not when you said he's just got 143 points in those races.
So a lot of people don't realize how the scoring works with the IndyCar. So first place in a race will get you 51 points. The winner, if you just win, no fast laps, no pole positions, if you just win that race, you will get 51 points. If you get the fastest lap, you'll get another point. If you win qualifying, so you come P1, you get another point again. So if I remember right, I believe the max you can get is 54 for a race weekend. So from that perspective, and I've already said there's another two road courses to come. That's two races.
Yeah.
So all that is two races.
So there's a
So
chance.
Mr. Optimistic in me is still putting all his eggs in the Lundgaard basket, and I'm still thinking well, not thinking, but I'm still praying, hoping, and keeping everything crossed that he's going to win this year. Um, but the logical thinker in me says that you're correct, and Palou is probably going to win it. But that's all you can do, and this is what we say year in, year out. If you are ever going to beat Palou, you have to win the race that he doesn't win.
Yeah.
And out of the last three races that Palou hasn't won, Lundgaard has won two of them. So you
We're
can't do no
taking
more
it.
than that. Yeah, we are. We're
Christian
taking it.
Lundgaard is winning the championship this year. You heard it here first,
Yeah,
people. That might
yeah.
upset a
You can
few
come back and
Pato
slate me
fans. I
later.
know how many crazy Pato Award fans there are out there. I mean, he's only
Yeah.
40. I mean, he's 40 points behind Lundgaard, I believe. Pato. I've done a little bit of research. Like I say, I need to learn IndyCar much more, but I know there's some huge
He could be
IndyCar
shouting
fans
at the
out there.
screen as we speak.
Yeah, absolutely. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Um, which many people say every week. So, I've got thick skin. I have to get used to that. But no,
Everyone's entitled to opinion. It doesn't mean they're right.
I love how passionate the IndyCar fans are. Like they're a different breed of passion. It's incredible. So, I mean, yeah, you see it on the socials all the time. I love seeing it. So I am going to get into it, guys. I'm never going to be an expert, but I am going to get into it. I am going to find the time to get into it. Another thing I need to, God, we're great with the segments today, aren't we? The follow-ons. And another thing I need to get into, which I haven't been beforehand, is endurance racing. Now there's a couple
Yeah,
of reasons I want to get into endurance racing. And the biggest one is that beautiful machine that is on the screen behind you there. McLaren announced that they will be entering Le Mans next year with the beautiful MCL HY. It is incredible. It is based on, of course, Bruce McLaren's Can-Am cars, and it's just the design team have nailed it. If you haven't seen it, you've
yeah,
been living under a rock. Google it. It is beautiful, and it's instantly I was like, right, I'm all in on endurance. I know we've had a lot of interaction with the endurance team across the socials as well. They've
yeah,
announced the drivers which will be racing, and of course we've got a friend in camp, friend of the pod, Ben Hayborn, has announced now, so we can say it, that he will be
yeah,
doing the radio and communications for the endurance team, and genuinely couldn't be happier. Awesome guy. Shout out to his wife Cassandra as well. Amazing, amazing family. And I'm so happy for the pair of them. It's gone full circle. For those that don't know, Ben used to be the radio and comms for the McLaren testing team way back when. We did an episode where he was the guest. Go and check that out. It was great, great fun. He gave us a real insight to sort of his time with McLaren, and it was awesome. And he's gone full circle. He's going back to McLaren with the endurance team, and he's going to be
yeah,
with them for the next, I don't know how long the contract is, but he's certainly going to be with them in Le Mans next year, which is just
yeah.
incredible. I'm so happy for them
Phenomenal.
guys. But mate, I know
Yeah.
you're as hyped as this as me, if not more so.
Oh, mate, I absolutely cannot wait for it. As you said, shout out to the social media teams for the McLaren Hypercar team. A phenomenal group of people. Very interactive. Absolute pleasure to talk to. Really, really good people. Which seems to sum up the whole team right throughout, to be fair. Everyone associated with it seems to be really, really good people. Um, and not just Le Mans, they're entering the full World Endurance Championship for that season as well.
Yep.
Because for a long time we didn't know if it was just going to be Le Mans, but it's been confirmed they are going to be going for that full championship. Um, so for those of you that's just getting into your endurance racing, or maybe fans of endurance, that's just coming over to follow McLaren, our two confirmed drivers, Lawrence Vantor, an absolute phenomenal driver. numerous wins to his name throughout WEC or WEC. Phenomenal driver.
And a champion,
Again,
right? He was the champion for.
yeah,
Yep.
he's won one of the numerous things, numerous things. I couldn't list it all off the top of my head. Incredible driver, absolutely incredible driver, and a nice guy, another nice guy. Again, very active, very talkative with his fans. As his confirmed teammate, which was the first confirmed driver for McLaren hypercar, is Mikkel Jensen, the Danish driver. We got like a lot of love for the Danes in McLaren at the moment. Lundgaard, Jensen taking over. Incredible driver. Again, another incredible driver. Doesn't currently have a win in Endurance Championship. He has numerous wins throughout the other um, levels. Doesn't currently have his first one for Endurance. So I have no doubt that's going to come next season. No doubt whatsoever. And then, of course, we're waiting for our third seat. Nothing's been announced yet. It could be the Swiss driver, I'm going to butcher his name now. I believe it's Gregory Chaucy. I apologize if I got that wrong. I'm Welsh. I'm allowed to butcher pronunciations. It's what we do. Um, Very good driver. He was representing United Autosports with Jensen in the current Le Mans. He's part of the developmental side of things at the moment for the endurance team. So he has a very good shout. If I was going to go out on a limb and make a choice now, I would say he's probably going to be the third driver. But that's not been confirmed. That's just a hunch. We also have someone else that we would all like to see in that seat. Whether it's too early for him at this moment in time, I don't know. I'm going to give a special shout out to Zach Meekin,
Another friend of the pod.
another friend of the pod. Of course, he's driving for Greystone GT at the moment. Had another P2, another podium in Misano, I believe you say it, on June
Yep.
the 7th. Him and Dean McDonald. That's the second P2 I think they've had this year, third podium, if I remember right. So another very good endurance racing sort of driver under the McLaren bracket. As I say, whether the time is right for him to come in 2027, it could be a little bit soon, but certainly he's one for the future.
I think we, the three of us, would love nothing more than to see Zach there. Keith is his biggest fan by an absolute
Yeah,
mile. And yeah, it would be awesome. But like you say, maybe a bit too soon, but he's still very young. So there's plenty of time to get him in that car.
yeah, most
So,
definitely.
would we like to see it next year? 100% yes, absolutely. But if we don't, that doesn't mean it won't happen, because he's, like you said, he's an incredible talent who will no doubt get the nod at some point throughout his career, and he's definitely got time on his side. So, and what an
Yeah,
amazing guy as well, credible young lad, who we had on here as well. So go back and listen to that with Zach.
we did indeed.
Great lad. So yeah, it's exciting, man. Like you said, they're going through
It
the
is.
whole calendar next year. One of the ones which, of course, stands out for us is the 6 Hours of Silverstone, which is in April 25th weekend, I think. I'm pretty sure we're all going to be there. I think we're certainly going to try and be there for that.
Yeah.
The tickets are incredible value for money. I think it's like
Oh,
95
amazing.
pound, 95 pound for the weekend, 3-day weekend,
Mhm.
95 pound is incredible.
Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna be going. I think you're planning on it as well, Jamie.
yeah,
I think
100%.
I'm hopefully we can get Keith there as well. But what a weekend that's gonna be.
And doubt. I'm currently planning, don't tell the wife, on doing the trilogy, 6 hours of Silverstone, 6 hours of Spa, and 24 hours of Le Mans. That is my current plan. Whether the wife and the bank manager allows that to happen is two other things, but that's currently on the agenda.
Yeah, I mean, I think Le Mans is the big one that we're all planning on going to as well. I think whether this happens or not, but the three of us have been talking a lot about Le Mans, and it would be so awesome to get the three of us there for that. It would,
Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
yeah, that would be pretty incredible. These are the goals. These are the Papaya Pod goals, guys. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this time next year, it will all be over, of course. Well, I say all Silverstone and Le Mans and Spa, of course. But hopefully, this time next year, we are on here talking about an amazing weekend that we've just had in Le Mans, with
Yeah,
the hypercar team. It's going to be an amazing year. They put in so much work, and we obviously saw it in testing a few weeks back now. It looks
yeah,
incredible. It sounds even better. We need to see this live on track. I'm so hyped
yeah,
for someone who's not been into endurance racing before. I am so hyped to see this car racing. It looks incredible. Look at it behind you. It's
yeah.
incredible car.
It's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And there's so much about this I'm excited for. You know, the opportunity, the Triple Crown being back on. There's number one. And a new set of merchandise. I've already got the t-shirt, by the way. Um, you know, die-cast cars to add to the collection. It just goes on and goes on. Endless amounts of joy that it's going to bring to a bunch of grown men. But that's exactly what it's doing. And I am here for it. That's what I'm here for.
100%. And shout out to you because you mocked up some of the die-cast models with AI and the help of AI and the Lego as well.
Yeah,
The Lego
phenomenal.
speed you did of that hypercar
Yeah,
looked, I mean, Lego, get on this because that will sell out. You will not be
yeah,
able to make those quick
100%.
enough. It was insane if they could make that happen.
Yeah,
It's a massive long shot, but it would be insane. But let's talk about it. There is a genuine chance that McLaren could do the Triple Crown next
next
year.
year.
Next year.
Yeah, yeah,
The Monaco, we did it last year. We weren't a million miles off this year, albeit if it wasn't for the reliability issues, like we said, we were not a million miles off. And the Indy 500. I mean, like I said, I'm not an Indy expert, but Pato wasn't far away. Like if just
no,
needed a
he was
few
one
more,
corner.
yeah, just needed a few more things to sort of lean in his favor. It didn't happen. But he wasn't far off. And of course,
No,
last year he was even closer. Um,
yeah,
so
three
there
over the
is,
last 4 years.
yeah, there's a genuine chance that it could
Hmm.
happen next year.
Yeah,
That is so exciting. I mean, I think Zach Brown might explode if that happens.
yeah. All the more reason to get to Le Mans because, of course, that's going to close off the Triple Crown.
Yeah,
You know, if we've already done Monaco and Indy 500 by that point, it is down to that weekend. What a weekend that will be.
we've got to be there. We have to be there for it, regardless of what happens in the other two. We're going to be there anyway. We are all in
Yeah,
on this
yeah, of
team.
course.
We are all in on this team. They've shown us a lot of love, which shout out to them guys. Like you said, amazing interaction across the socials. And all that's done is just get us more hyped and make us want to back them even more.
Yeah,
So yeah, shout out to those guys in charge of those social medias and everything else. And we will be there. We're definitely going to be at Silverstone. We're hopefully, fingers crossed, be in Le Mans as well to support. We will be all papayaed up, and I can't wait, man. I'm so
no,
excited. I mean, listen, we got a lot of racing before that, but I am so excited.
we have got a lot of racing. To go into the next area, as you just said, you just mentioned Silverstone. For those that don't know, myself and Jimmy are both going to be at Silverstone. I believe you were just there the Friday, Jimmy, is that correct?
I'm there just for the practice and sprint quali. Yes, I wanted to do a
Yeah,
weekend, but I've already got pre-arrangements, which is just a massive schoolboy error on my part. But it is what it is. I'm going to be there for the Friday. I can't wait. I know
yeah.
you're there all weekend, so
Yeah, you go the Friday. I'm also there the Friday, the Saturday, and the Sunday. So we got to have Papaya Pod. We might even come live from Silverstone. Who knows? We'll see how the day goes. We see what the internet's like there. We'll get something out on the day, no doubt about it. Can't wait for that though. Going to be an incredible weekend. Hopefully we have the weather
yeah,
on our side, which is always hit or miss with Silverstone.
yeah.
Um, Generally can't wait. It's going to be a
No,
great weekend.
me either. I'm going to be there with my friend Matt, who is going to be an honorary Papaya Pod member that day. He's actually the guy that I first told about this and told me to go for it, so it's kind of fitting that I'm going with him. He's a big motorsport fan. Funnily enough, his dream is to do Le Mans as well. So you never know. He may be on board to
Never
come with
know.
us next year. But yeah, I'll be there with Matt, and like I say, James is going to be there all weekend. If you do see us, guys, and just come and say hello. Be great to chat to you. We want to meet as many Papaya fans as possible. We might have a couple of little bits to give away as well. Surprisingly more difficult than you would think to be allowed to do that with the ruling of not Silverstone but F1. I've been in touch with Silverstone. I've got to get in touch with F1 direct. But we're hoping to have a few bits to do giveaways and things while we're there, just handing out to people basically. So yeah, come and say hello. It'd be awesome to meet as many Papaya fans as possible,
Definitely.
and there is going to be plenty of them there.
Most definitely will.
Hopefully we're celebrating a solid McLaren weekend. We've also got the following week is a Goodwood Festival of Speed. I went out on a limb and got tickets for Saturday. Those you may know, Lando's going to be there on Saturday as well. And I thought, what the hell? I am just gonna get tickets. I've got my kids that weekend, so I'm taking them both. Um, Hopefully they enjoy it because they are not massive motorsport fans like James's family are. But I'm hoping it will help get them into it. And I might have to take them to Mere Defenders because I've been told some of those older cars are pretty loud.
Yeah, apparently so. So I have been told. Going to be another good turnout for McLaren. As you say, Lando's there. Leo's going to be there.
He is,
The
yes.
hypercars possibly. With all the things that's going on, with all the promotion that's going on at the moment, I'd be very surprised. If not, we might get to see the 1995 Le Mans car there. They're going to have something. They're going to have something to do with this endurance. They have to. It makes too much sense not to.
I hope so.
We'll have to wait and see what, but there'll be something, no doubt. They're just going to push endurance now all the rest of the year. They have to get everyone on board ready for next year.
Yeah, I hope so, mate. Like you said, I mean, they couldn't have announced it with a better start. Like, just that car, just it opened everyone's eyes, didn't it? It was just absolute
Yeah,
perfection. That's perfection on four wheels right there. That really is.
most
Um,
definitely is.
but yeah, and of course we got the Austrian Grand Prix this weekend, so there's a lot to look forward to. Um, James, I've really enjoyed this, mate. We've sort of touched on most things.
Yeah, we've covered pretty much everything. I think there's not much gone to the wayside.
No,
We've gone through it all. There's been a lot to go through, a lot going on, a lot more to come up. Um,
absolutely.
Obviously, don't miss out on the Road America race review that myself and Keith are going to be doing this week. Not sure when at the moment, but it's going to drop later on this week. We'll go a little bit more in depth into the race. But many more things to come, Jimmy.
We have got some exciting things happening behind the scene. I think, should we announce it? Are we announcing it? It's happening, isn't it?
Yeah, go on, go for it.
We've got a website coming. It's happening. It's something I've been working on for a while, but it's not something I'm too familiar with, so it's taken me a long time. But shout out to Jack, who is part of James's family, should we say, is the easiest way to say it. Um, Jack's helping us out with this website. It's something that he's a lot more of an expert on than I am with. And it's something that's going to be coming pretty soon, hopefully. No pressure, Jack. But yeah, thanks to him because he is doing this for nothing just to help us out. Absolute legend. And it's not a 5-minute job either. And if it goes to plan, it's going to look pretty awesome, even if I do say so myself. And there's going to be
Yeah.
all sorts on there. We're going to be covering Formula One, IndyCar, and endurance. They're the three things that we're really going to be pushing, both with the podcast and with the website. And there will be a special Papaya Kids section as well. I know a few of you guys out there have already sent us pictures and stuff, which will be going on there. Probably wondering why I asked for those because they haven't Earthjet, but they will be. That was what it was for. So they're going to be going on a website. So if anyone out there has got younger kids, younger Papaya fans with pictures or any artwork or anything like that, send it across. Give us permission to put it on the website, and we will do so. And we'll also be sharing random ones across the socials as well. I'm so excited, and James is going to be doing lots of write-ups and articles and stuff on that as well. Don't know how he's going to find the time, but I don't think he sleeps.
We'll make it work. We will make it work.
But yeah, I'm so excited to get that launched. There'll be all sorts of links as well to the podcast, to YouTube, to everything else. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
Most definitely. Cannot wait.
It's going to be fun. But yeah, I've enjoyed this so much. Guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. It is great to be back. I've been Jimmy. That's been James. This has been the Papaya Pod. And until next time,
never stop racing.